Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Thriller here, back with another Draft League. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the LOG log. I don't know what it really stands for. This is a league ran by my friend, so I don't know what he's going to make the stand for. But this is a league run by my good pal Colin. He wanted to just have a league where everyone can kind of just chill, vibe, play with some Pokemon, and just have some fun all the time. And that's what we're gonna do here. I primarily base my draft around stuff I've only used once, stuff I haven't used ever, except one Pokemon on this draft, which we'll talk about. But I'm really excited for this team. Very excited to see how well we're gonna do. And if we do well, awesome. If we don't, I don't care. We're gonna have fun. So if you guys are excited, leave a like if you haven't already, subscribe if you're new, join the crew to if you're looking the crew. So with our first pick, which we had the 13th pick out of 16. Thanks, Colin. And I really got sniped on a couple of things I wanted. Not anything too crazy, but luckily for me, a certain Pokemon fell to me in the first round, and I'm so glad I can finally draft this Pokemon again. So, for a fun fact, I've drafted this Pokemon once in the Wi-Fi League in SDA, where it was the debut of this Pokemon, and I drafted it day one draft league that it started. One of the first leagues to start with the Indigo Disc DLC stuff. I grabbed Gauching Fire and proceeded to make it Kill Leader. I knew exactly how to play this Pokemon. Now, some might argue and be like, wait, we saw you do an Ubers tour with this. Doesn't that count as another draft league? No, I don't really count tours as it's only situational stuff. And it only matters if I make brackets for it or not, which I did, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter because it's not really a league. So, this is gonna be our second official time drafting this Pokemon. I'm so excited. Gouging Fire has easily been my favorite. Like, it's tied up there with Iron Boulder as my favorite mon used in the DLC mons that we got. It's just been so awesome, dude. Fire Dragon, fantastic typing, bulky, offensive, which is my play style, my bread and butter, dude. I love this Pokemon so much, and can't wait to use it. With my second pick, I didn't start to go off with some stuff that I've never used before. So I went with a Pokemon that I have seen some people started popping off with and have done everything in their power to make sure this Pokemon is broken and getting kills after kills after kills. And at first time I'm ever drafting this Pokemon. I technically have tried drafting this Pokemon once before, but I was on a Radical Red League, and it only did one good game, and then the league died. So, I'm indifferent about this, but we're gonna have to wait and see how this mon does for us. And that is gonna be Keldeo, aka named Schmeldio, because that was a running joke with these Pokemon. Keldeo, I felt like was pretty good. I feel like it complements Gouging Fire really well as a good pairing in terms of a special offensive breaker paired with a physical offensive breaker, a good speed tier as well, which was really good to get early up with the draft. So I don't know. Keldeo seems like it's fun. Seems like it's a different. I think we can do well with Keldeo. I think we have some merits. I've seen some people do really well with it. Shout out to my man Sin of Wrath, aka Sin. He is now actually in the, I believe he's in the finals of MGDL with Keldeo. I think he has Keldeo. I could be completely wrong. I'm not getting this right. I don't know. But Keldeo, I felt like, Volskin is a good fighting type as well as pretty good. So overall, pretty solid mon to say the least. I feel like it's going to do us really, really well. For the third round, I am so excited because I've wanted to draft this Pokemon specifically with Terra. This is our first Terra captain. We have 30 Terra points. You can have up to 2 to 3 Terra captains per draft. And I'm so excited because this was the number one Terra Captain I wanted. Now there was other Terra Captain options such as Iron Moth, King Gambit, Hisuian Arcanine, and I really thought about it, but I've already used Terra Iron Moth before. I've already used Terra King Gambit. I haven't used Terra Hisuian Arcanine. That's my next thing to try. Also Terra Lilligant. Hisui is another one, but I've been wanting to draft this thing specifically Terra because I know this Pokemon is so broken with Terra and I'm really excited. So our first Terra Captain is going to be our boy Lowly, the Hydrapple. Now we're naming it Lowly because Hydrapple in this picture reminds me of like one of those worms you see that pop out of the apple. And so I looked up cartoon worms, and apparently there's a cartoon out there that had a worm inside of an apple named Lowly. So we're naming it Lowly for that specific reason. What's really great about this monster Terra Captain gets rid of that shitty typing that it does have, and we just be able to really diversify ourselves here in terms of our offense. Oh, excuse me. It's a really good bulky offensive Pokemon, and I'm gonna actually pick up on the piece that could really really well with this mod. But this mod is really really good, man. It does really really well for us. It's a good special breaker to pair with Keldeo, and it gives us again a good mod with Regenerator as well, which is really nice. So overall, really excited to finally try Hydrapple, man. I know it's weird to grab another Dragon type, but with this being able to tear outside of its Dragon typing, I think that's really worth out of it. And low key, I was contemplating drafting more dragons, and I was like, I can't. I already have two of the same typing, even though one's going to tear out of it. I can't do that anymore. So I had to make sure I didn't pull so many repeated typings. But now look at my draft. I get destroyed by fairies. Gouging is the only thing I have an okay with, but it's not going to be the greatest of times. I really need something for fairy types right now. So I decided to grab this mon. Now I have drafted this mon, but I dropped it almost immediately after like one game with it, and I just did not like it. And it didn't live up to any hype that I have for it. But we're gonna give this mon another chance, give it another go. That Pokemon is Skippidippity, aka Pheasantipity. Now, this Pokemon is good. It has good Spadef bulk compared with the Vizdef bulk that we got from Hydra, which is really good. A good middle ground speed tier of 99, which is really good. But in my opinion, this thing just blows. I don't see any good things with it. We're really that great. But I've seen my good friend Rose, who actually won his IBL championship. I can say that publicly because he did win it. Off of that. And also, fun fact, he has Hydrapple for WPF. So it was I inspired by Rose. Was also the next pick I have inspired by Rose's IBL team? No, it wasn't. It was just controversial. But Pheasantipity, I mean, I've never really used this thing since our first time using it. I'm hoping we can get some merit out of it. I've also made it a rule here to really, first off, not to really drop anything because from one, I think it's only like a 7 week season, so I think it is at least. It's either 7 or 8 weeks. It's one of the two. And so I don't really want to drop anything where to try stuff. I will only drop something if I physically cannot make it work, and I just don't really want to use this or prep for this Pokemon anymore, type of thing. So Fez, I think I could see myself bringing it to sub games, but we'll have to wait and see. Wait and see how it does. Up next is my boy Kilo Wattrel. Now, this is a Pokemon I've only used once before, but with Terra. I've never used this thing without Terra, and I decided not to make it a captain. I could have made it a captain, and it pretty much would have drained, I think, the rest of my points. If not, we're looking with like a 1 or 2 pointer Terra captain left. But I decided not to do it, and here's the reason why. I really needed first off another ground switch in, so we had ground immunity. I also wanted something with an electric immunity that way I can actually take advantage of it. And I felt like having something like this was really good to have, again, an electric, but also a flying type. Rock Pokemon are kind of scary, but we're got some patches for that to fix. But this is overall a strong mod. Excuse me. I felt this was really good. Offered a lot of good more versatility for our team. Gave us another good speed tier, the elite speed tier that we were going to need here for this draft. So I felt like this was a really good pickup here for us overall. And I really do love Kilowatt. It's a really great mod. So looking forward to using that. Up next is a mod that I have been actually dying to try with Terra for the longest time. Now, don't be wrong, I'm probably going to tear this Hydrapple probably 9 times out of 10. But this is definitely a Pokemon I might consider tearing every once in a while. That is Terra Mesprit. Mesprit, I think, is one of the best lower tier mons to have for Terra because of the fact that with Levitate, you can go Steel, Electric, Fire, Rock, and when I'm crazy, it doesn't go Rock. But basically, you're giving just that instant ground immunity, which is really good for your draft. Mesprit is also a Healing Wish mon, so it's really good to support your team. Mesprit also is insanely good, dude. It's really great here. Oh, with having electric, I basically have I have no weakness, so I literally cannot be like one shot by anything. The bulk on Mesper is also really good. It's got some good support options with Stealth Rock, U-Turn. But one of the other main things that's really cool about having this Pokemon is access to Trick Room. That's going to open the door for some of my slower in stuff, like my Hydrapple and our next couple of picks here. But I felt like this was an overall good support blue piece to the team, and I felt like this really benefited us a lot. So, really excited to see what Vesper does for us here. And excuse me, hopefully it does us really well. Up next, there was only one good steel type left that wasn't anything else that was the lower impact that were bad. But I went with a steel type that I felt like was still good, and honestly, it fit this team relatively well. So we went with Registeel, my boy Iron. In the past, you guys may or may not watch me do well with this Pokemon. I don't know off the top of my head, but I know how to use Registeel. I only used it for a. I think I only used it. I don't think actually ever really drafted this thing. I know I picked it up in free agency, but I don't think I've ever actually drafted this Pokemon. I don't really know if about that, but I love Registeel. It's a really good steel type for this draft. It's a really good bulky mon. It can go be the more than it's another stealth rocker for the team. So Mesprit now has the rocks pressure taken off of it, so now it has more versatility. With Registeel, it can actually be really threatening if you know it certainly set it up in any such a way. Being able to go physical or special every single week is actually really good in these type of matchups as well. So Registeel overall, a really solid Pokemon. Is it going to come to a lot? Maybe not, but it's really, really good. Sorry, I yawned again, guys. I can't help but yawn. But yeah, really excited to use Registeel this season. Really excited. Up next, this is a bit of a risk I took because this was a mod that you guys saw me use before with Terra. I'm not going to be using it with Terra this time. So we are going to be using Rhydon this season, aka the OG, because he's the original Pokemon. And I think Rhydon's really good. It was one of the few grounds I liked that were left on the board. As you guys can see, I did not have anything to stop electric types besides my two dragons and my electric immunity. But I didn't have a true wall, and so Rhydon was my main choice here, and I really liked Rhydon. I haven't used Rhydon without Terra before, so I'm really excited to use Rhydon. The last time I used it was with Terra in the LGA, and I honestly had so much fun with Rhydon. I think I can have a lot more fun with Rhydon this season as well. So really hoping we do well with this Pokemon and we can be able to do some stuff. Up next, shout outs to my homie Goldoa Dragon because we picked up the Terra Noctowl for a total of 2 points for Terra. In the words of Gold, that's a steal. I'm taking it. But I honestly felt like, you know what, I can fill out the rosters, and this was a fun for fun league, and I figured, you know what, I have the points. Let's just go ahead and use a Terra Noctowl. You know, Tinted Lens, it's not that bad. I've seen this thing actually do relatively strong. It's won people championships. It's done people so well in leagues, you know. And you know what? I figured, you know what? Let's just try it. Fuck it. Let's just try it out. We're here to have fun. So I had 17 points left, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I only drafted this Pokemon for Colin. I'm never drafting it. I'm never bringing this unless I'm guaranteed playoffs or if I'm guaranteed not making playoffs, and then I'll bring it to the rest of my games. Like, I'm not bringing this Pokemon whatsoever. I'm not doing anything with this mon. The true last pick was this, which I know it sounds crazy. Round 11, which the maximum was 11 Pokemon you can have. Round 11 Darkrai. That sounds insane, I know. But to be fair, and I haven't stated this, majority of the league, I would say at least around 90% of the participants in this league, haven't really competed in Draft League. You know, the 10% of us with people like Kiwi, Rose, who actually just recently joined because I was dropped. I think there's like a few other people in there as well, besides myself. Then there's like we make up like about 10%. Um, so I don't know how well we're gonna do against the newbies or these new players. I don't know off the top of my head how well we're gonna do. But you know what? I'm hoping for some good games. I'm hoping for some good time, and overall, I'm hoping for just a good season. So yeah, that's gonna be our team. A bit of a fast-paced draft analysis here, but coming in, just kind of just going with the vibes here. But yeah, this is gonna be the team again here. We're gonna show you all as we go down. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. What is your favorite mon on the team? I think this guy is gonna be my favorite mon on the team. Besides this guy, I think these two are gonna tie for me on my best Pokemon for my draft. I know a lot of people are going to say this is going to be the best Pokemon on my team, but we'll have to wait and see. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Obviously, if I ever face any of these guys and they have YouTube channels, I'll put their links down in the description of the video. But until then, guys, I will see you guys for week 1 where we take on my good pal Rose. Can Rose even up the score against me and make it 2-2 and make it 2-2? Or can I pull the 3-1 lead over Rose in our little rivalry of battles? So should be a really fun one. It should be really exciting for you guys. But with that being said, thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.